Hello everybody, this is Fabi from The Next Big Rush, and today I want to talk about stepping up. Stepping up your game and maximizing your gains in the stock market, especially the junior mining market. What do I mean by that? Well, I think it's time for you and me to be honest about what goes on in the market and the pros, differentiating what the pros do to what, the little guy does. And I'm not saying that the little guy is in any way wrong, or that they don't know enough, or that their research isn't good enough. No, what I'm saying is that there is a way through which the people who make the most money in this market operate in. And I think it's fair for us to look at what they do and follow what they do, and not just listen to what they say, right? I mean, there are lots and lots of people who just buy in the open market, don't look at private placements. They look at what they think their requirements are for private placements, and they say, I'm not rich, I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna take part, whatever. And that is not entirely true. In fact, during this summer, I dedicated myself to learning about the private placement process, and I talked to lawyers. I got some people from IROC to speak to me about the process. I read the documents. Do not recommend reading some of the documents, which are completely dry and very, very long and boring. But I studied. I said, you know what? I'm sure there's a hole here somewhere that maybe I can explore. And the truth is, I found some really interesting things, and I will be using those things to my advantage by the end of this year, into next year, and probably forever, in order for me to start doing private placements instead of just buying in the open market. And to be completely honest with you, before the summer, I did not know that there were opportunities open to me, to somebody like me, to participate in private placements. And now, the more I find out about it, the more confident I am that more and more people will be able to take part in many, if not all, of these private placements sooner than you possibly think. So, I've actually gone and built a video program on private placements with some of those ideas, and exploring a few options, talking about strategy, talking about what do you do with the warrants. But for now, I want to just run through a small simulation of what it might be to have a little taste of a private placement. What does it mean to your pocket? How much more should you make with a private placement? So I used some numbers that were real, okay, off a different company that shall remain nameless, and used this example for you just to have an idea of what you can expect when you start using private placements. Now, let's take a look and see. Try not to get too excited about this, but this is what might, not always happens, but might happen when you take part in a successful private placement. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into this topic with a simulation. So let's say that company ABC Incorporated wants to raise $1 million, 1 million. They will be issuing, in other words, creating 4 million new shares. So if they're issuing 4 million shares in order to raise $1 million, each share must have the price of, you got it, 25 cents. 4 million times 25 cents equals 1 million. Great. Now, with that, they're also issuing 4 million warrants. In other words, 1 warrant per share. And we call that a full warrant. So let's say you go out and buy $5,000 worth of shares, which would give you 20,000 shares. And as a consequence, 20,000 warrants, because remember, they are full warrants. So 1 share, 1 warrant. However, a warrant isn't
eternal. So you realize that they expire in 24 months. The exercise price for these warrants is 40 cents. So as volatile as the market is, you do very well with these shares. You hold on to them. They hit pay dirt. The market absolutely loves the story, and in the next 12 months, the shares are worth $1 each. Congratulations, you've turned $5,000 into $20,000. That's really a great gain, and to be honest with you, most people who are not in the mining sector or in the penny stock sector would absolutely kill to get a return like this. You should be very proud of yourself if you could hang on all this time and realize that gain. Now, had you bought the shares in the open market for 25 cents, you would have quadrupled your money, and that would be the end of it. You'd be quite happy, and you'd probably come back for more in the future or try to use your gain with a different stock. But hey, you have those warrants which allow you to purchase these same shares for a bargain of 40 cents, even though they are now worth $1 in the open market. So what can you do? Well, you can sell your shares, take your $20,000, and you can then use $8,000 of those dollars to exercise your warrants for 40 cents each, and then sell them immediately if you wish for a profit of 60 cents each. Now that means your warrants made you a profit of $12,000 extra dollars on top of your gain. Now take a look at that for just a minute. Instead of making a total of $15,000 profit on your initial shares, your actual profit is $27,000 because you have the profits from your initial shares and also the profits from your warrants, which have been converted into shares that have been bought and also sold. Now, imagine doing this a few times over. How many successful private placements do you need in order to make an absolute fortune? Yep, not many.
Okay, that looked pretty cool, right? I mean, I loved it. And as I made that video, I got more and more excited about it and started working towards how can I take part in this. And the truth is, my program is open for beta testers. So if you are following the channel and you see this video right now, and if the link down here is still available, that means that I'm taking applications for people to buy the program at a 50% discount, which translate to like 97 Canadian dollars, which is peanuts in US dollars. For you to come take a look at the program if you apply and your application is successful, and then you get the discount in exchange for giving me feedback of what you think that the program needs, or is it good as it is, or do I need to explain something further, do I need to cut some things out. Beta testers, that's what they do. They get something in exchange for a service that they provide. So if you want to beta test the private placement program, the ultimate guide to private placement, then do apply down here. Applications will be closing very, very shortly. And who took part of building that program? Well, I went down to Vancouver and interviewed some amazing people who have decades of experience in private placements, such as Rick Rule, you know him for sure, Chris Perry, such as Eric Coffin, and also Alex Cormick, who's a lawyer in this area. So you're going to be very well served with this information, although it's not technically legal information and you shouldn't use it as a basis for your investment advice. We know that you can learn a lot from this and you can maximize your gains in a way that if you extrapolate it into the future, if you compare it to what you're doing now in the open market and what you can do, especially once gold and silver stocks really start to get back in vogue. Your gains will be maximized, maybe maximized in the millions throughout your lifetime if you're investing for a long time. So I don't know about you and what you are willing to do and what you're going to do for your own financial future, but I have made a decision and I am working diligently towards it. I wish the same to you. So apply if you're interested. And if the link is gone, I am sorry. That means that the program is closed or the applications are closed and we're now into the full priced program part of things. All right, but take care. See you later.